Well, Coach, back for another week. It's the home opener this weekend against Merrimack College. A couple of games at home. What's it like to be home in front of this crowd for the first time?
Yeah, it's exciting. The road was good to get away and do our thing and be together. But the community, the campus community, the energy around town, the excitement that they've got going on. I know before Saturday's game, the event outside, and I just it's home. Like for us, it'll be exciting for the new guys to experience it, and hockey's kind of back. I think maybe a little bit of cold weather in the morning will help our cause here.
Yeah, and yet going back to last weekend, you had the Michigan series. Did you feel like that was a good test for your guys, and did you get out of it what you thought you would?
Yeah, the test is good. I mean, they're a really talented group. In a lot of ways, we probably played better Saturday and didn't get the outcome, and we were opportunistic on Friday. But all in all, it was good. It was good growth. I thought we had to go. You have to go through these moments early to see if you can't stack days and stack games and learn from opportunities that we had. And I think we did so. You're always looking for individuals to pop and peer them like their way around, and I thought we had some of that go on too. And it was good to get a weekend out of our way.
How much does it help a young guy like Luke Ashton in his first year to get Rookie of the Week so early on in the year? How much does that help his confidence?
Yeah, I think it's the accolade is great. I'm pretty confident with our maturity of our guys that they're going to take it in stride with the idea of it's a team game, but at the same time, for a young guy, I mean, there's a lot going on. You go to Michigan, you're close to Columbus, home of the Blue Jackets. He's a drafter there. You get their brass in town. You get opening weekend. You get a Big Ten series. So him to do well and thrive and take on another chapter, it should be a good sign. A lot of hockey ahead of us.
You had Merrimack on the schedule for the first time since 2000, about 25 years. What was the impetus to getting this matchup against a Hockey East school?
That's a big part. Hockey East. If Hockey East continues to get their guys in the polls and their teams, we got to go out and play Hockey East opponents. We got to do our job and make it count. But I mean, every year, I think when you're building schedules, you're out. You don't know what everyone's team is going to present themselves that year. You're just counting a little bit on that conference is going to make noise and beat teams, and they're going to beat teams along the way. And you want to make sure you can continue to grow on that side.
On the offensive side, you switched up the lines quite a bit from Friday to Saturday, but kept guys together for the most part. What was the thought process there in changing up the lines, and what are you looking for this weekend out of your forward group?
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to get guys games. We want to get guys some opportunity. When you do so, you try to do maybe the least amount of shuffling. Bonk went in, Kraj slid over, and Ole came out. Same time, you on the back end, you get a little sickness, a little dinged up, and you get an opportunity to get another defenseman. Then you're pairing rights and lefts and who can play with who. So I think as the guys wore on, there's sometimes you're trying to find twos and you want to see who can go together, and then eventually you try to find that third to match it up. So fairly happy. I mean, the scoring and the depth of the scoring and then how it was spread around was probably a good sign for us.
Yeah, the five different goal scorers on Friday night. Is that something that you want moving forward, the ability to have even your third and fourth lines be scoring lines?
Yeah, I mean, I really would love to get the fact of 1 to 3 can all score, 4 is going to share and check and do their part and be hard to play against. And I thought our group, and they're going to contribute. There's no question on that part. And then, the game has changed. You want offensemen. You want guys to be involved offensively. There's 5-man offense. And to get scoring for the blue line and then up and down the lineup it's going to be important. You can't just rely on old number 6 to stack up goals for you.
Aside from Luke that we already talked about on the freshman defensive side of things, were there other defensemen that impressed you on the weekend that maybe didn't show up in the score sheet as much? Because on the defensive side, that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, no, I think, I know JP ended up on the sheet a little bit. I didn't mind. Like we didn't give up a lot, which was an encouraging sign. There's some blunders along the way which we can fix, and I think some of those moments you got to go through to identify and then the speed of Michigan, the stick skill of Michigan was a good test to be able to defend against. So as a core, the fact that they got to get the minutes they did is important early on, and then I think when you do look at time on ice, you see it's pretty spread out. That's an encouraging sign as well.
And then backstopping it all, Alex Tracy on the weekend looked good. Are there particular parts of his game that you really like early in the year here?
You like Trace's maturity. You like the fact he's got a gamer mentality. He understands the momentum of a game. I thought on Friday there, our guys didn't panic when we got down. Saturday, the same deal. We were able to keep it even keel, which is a lot to do with Trace. Like you got to have no matter the score, if you can keep it still and gain momentum on your side and take care of opportunities, and then your goalie's probably doing a pretty good job. And I think one of the bigger tests is the number of opportunities that were the time lapse in between opportunities. It's hard to be a goalie when you face a chance. You're not facing one after the other. You've got some time to absorb the game, and I thought he stayed right focused with it.
A tough team in Michigan, obviously, but you didn't score a power play goal on the weekend. Is that going to be a focus in practice heading into this series?
Yeah, it's early. I think it always is. Same deal. You're trying to find a little bit of a recipe there as far as players and combinations and highlights. You're at a point of, I think, when special teams early, it can hurt you. It would have been nice to get that power play goal because maybe we're talking a different outcome if that's the case. At the same time, we want to make sure we're doing it right for the long haul, and getting guys different looks in different spots will be important, especially here before conference.
Looking at the week ahead in preparation for Merrimack College, what's the practice schedule look like for you and making sure guys can stay focused now that we're in Mankato?
We're back at it. Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty hard around here, and a lot of development time with individuals. Tuesday's a doozy, always is. Just we get back into some special team play and a lot of 5-on-5 opportunity for guys on both sides of the puck, and everyone's still trying to get their spot. And if they weren't in the lineup, they're not going to be happy they didn't play. If they were in the lineup, they're got to be opportunistic that no one else is going to get in there. So our practices are pretty intense. So it's an encouraging sign.
You have guys together. I mean, we mentioned it last week. You started with two players, especially on the forward side, together. Is there some chemistry developing between any couple of pairs that you've seen so far?
Well, the spread of the scoring. I mean, you look at lines that score goals. We keep a pretty good track about what combinations are scoring. And then others are being scored on. So you want to try to break that up and figure out what the cog is in that. And you will keep flirting, I think, with different guys playing with different guys. It's just going to be part of, I think, the growth of your team is who can thrive when the moment's counted on, and some of that has to do with personnel, and some of that has to just flat out opportunity.
Early scouting with Merrimack College. What do they bring to the table in terms of the scouting report there?
I mean, they play hard. They've got their way about the number of shots they blocked on Sunday was a big time number, a very team oriented game. They get to the net, they make their play. The East is always going to bring you a flare of offense to the game, but I think they've got a ruggedness to what they are. They're a physical team. They've got a good influence of CCHA players that have transferred in there from our league. They'll be very familiar with what's here, so we're not going to catch anyone off guard. And staff member and Jimmy Mullen, who's an alum, so they're not going to be caught off guard by anything. I just think they bring a good brand of hockey to the table, and they're at a point of making sure they can start their season off on the right note too.
All right, thank you for the time.
You bet.